another minority, the Africans, suffered a similar fate at the hands of your type of deranged malicious cult. Using these same deceitful tactics that you know so well, your cultic forefathers went into Africa, destroying families and kidnapping these innocent people from their land, and then brought them in chains to this country and treated these human beings like animals. For centuries they were beaten, tortured, killed, and forced to serve your cultic forefathers. Like the Native Americans, they also were robbed of their culture, religion, and family. Once your type of malicious and elusive cult deprived them of their basic human rights, they successfully decimated them as a people. Few, relatively speaking, have been able to raise themselves out of the black hole of oppression. Like any other minority group in this country, whether Indians, Native Americans, African Americans, or Hispanics, your intolerant Lorna Marquardt cult treats them like animals. You know, Spokesman Davis, that your teacher Martin Luther taught you to never allow one of these subhumans to enter into your territory, and if they did enter, drive them out. Didn't Luther also say about the people he didn't like, the Jews have to be expelled from our country, and also to confiscate their property and drive them out of the country? You were at the city council meeting when your elusive cult leader, Lorna Marquardt, asked the death knell question to SIST personnel. Are you planning to buy any more property? Since that time, you and Lorna have carefully studied the books of your godfather, Martin Luther, and this has helped you formulate the final solution for the demise of SIST personnel, and SIST's president, the subhuman East Indian in your midst. You know, Woody, your malicious cult leaders were in a rage that SIST and SIST's associates were paying Shawano citizens too much for their properties. The Lorna Marquardt cult leaders are no longer able to steal the properties from other disadvantaged citizens of Shawano for pennies on the dollar. Your embittered cult leader, Lorna Marquardt, was also enraged about USA International Raceway, an SIST business that brings millions of dollars to Shawano's economy. You know that people in the community might start to empathize with and support SIST, so you quickly studied Luther's works and looked to the teachings of the Godfather that helped your hero, Hitler. You and your elusive cult leader, Lorna Marquardt, decided to call upon the media. You called upon your first propaganda mouthpiece, the Shawano leader, to start publishing all sorts of negative propaganda against SIST and SIST's president. When the Shawano leader asked what they were going to do if they were sued, the deceitful cult leader Lorna Marquardt allegedly said, "Don't worry about it. All the judges in the courthouse are under my power. They have been given training and orders." That is why, Woody, SIST has never won a single case in Shawano, and why the most egregious law violations can be perpetrated by your ultra-Orthodox religious Christian sect. When your supreme authority figure saw that the Shawano leader wasn't dominant enough to do the damage she was looking for, she called upon Rick Ross. As soon as the publications in this puppy training newspaper go out, the articles are put on Rick Ross' website to spread them around the world. Your elusive cult leader then got control of the Lorna Marquardt cult chief propaganda minister of lies and deceit, Mike Lauber, at Channel 7, and told him to start spreading more outrageous lies and propaganda. Michael Lauber then convinced all the other local media in the area to do the same. What about that, Woody? You know that not even one single part of what the media is promulgating is true. But do you consider it outrageous, malicious, or vicious? No, it's alright. SIST and its president are not humans. They are savages. But any kind of publicity that brings your secretive group out from the shadows of your heavily guarded compound and sheds light on your elusive, mysterious plans is considered by you to be outrageous and concerning propaganda. Let's get to the truth, Woody. Although you probably don't have that capability since studying Luther's work so well, you know that the hit list is a lie made up by your vile and malicious cult leader, Lorna Marquardt, and the other mysterious cult leaders in your secretive community, including yourself. You know that your elusive cult leader, Lorna Marquardt, and your other cult leaders generated the list as a part of their final solution plan for SIST, which was planned well over a year ago. You know, Woody, that this was a major step to bring your plans for the annihilation and extermination of SIST, SIST's personnel, and the president of SIST closer. You know SIST had nothing to do with this so-called alleged list of implied threats. This is just like the blood libel story promulgated by the forefathers of the Lorna Marquardt cult. Remember, Woody? The lie that Jews kill Christian children to take their blood to make matzah for Passover? It was written down and people falsely testified in court that children have been killed and taken by the Jews to keep their Passover. Even now, your Lorna Marquardt cult still believes that Jews kill Christian children and take their blood to make matzah for Passover. So the hit list and Cameron's story on CBS National News are nothing but another fabricated lie. These Christian cults really have a disease. They have to keep making stories about someone else. They have no peace in their homes, their families, or in business dealings. It is a crazy disease. Regarding the so-called hit list, a few respectable people in Shawano whose names are on the hit list tell that this list is ridiculous and made up. Even they themselves don't believe it. And they don't understand how Lorna came up with that list so quickly. They were not aware of these things. They know nobody was in danger. SIST has been in Shawano for decades, and they are no threat to anyone. Obviously, Lorna has some plans which were not disclosed to them. And the tiny Shawano newspaper didn't want to print that breaking news because it will contradict cult leader Lorna Marquardt, who controls the paper. Have you ever thought, Woody, that SIST's president, other SIST personnel, and myself might possibly be human beings? When you are reading your Lutheran Bible, the book of lies written by your crazed godfathers, has a feeling of compassion ever gone through your head? Obviously not. Woody, your type of religious Christian cult is extremely dangerous. Your cults remain just out of sight with their malicious plans when you send your missionaries to these innocent foreign countries to gain control of the population's way of thinking. Their motive is to conquer and control. In the name of your malicious forefathers, your death angels are so-called ministering to the poor to steal their land. Gradually, your appalling fellow religious Christian cults swallow up whole countries by controlling their way of thinking, literally forcing them to give up their way of life by invading and controlling. Let's be honest, Woody. These death angels are not going to help the homeless. If your cult and other religious Christian cults really wanted to help the homeless, they could help the approximately 3.5 million homeless people right here in this country. But no, those people remain homeless while your death angels travel to the other side of the globe. Why? Because the homeless in the United States have no land they can grab. The world needs to be aware. No one in the world needs a bloody Lorna Marquardt cult type of belief system. Its hands are dripping with the blood of the innocent people. No religion on the face of the earth has committed so much evil as the Lorna Marquardt type of religious Christian cults. Their history is one of murder, torture, deceit, power, and control. Their motto is be converted or be killed.